Hello, everyone. It is so good to be here tonight with you. Welcome to Lipedema Wellness Conversations with Gail. That would be me and friends. And my friend tonight is Sharon Tillery. Sh-
Hi.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi.
Sharon is a holistic life coach. She works here at Lipedema Simplified with us. She has an interesting backstory as far as how she got started with Lipedema Simplified. Um, while you're listening to Sharon's story, please put in where you're coming to us from and say hi to us so that we know you're out there in the audience. And so, Sharon, will you share a little bit about how you got involved with Lipedema Simplified?
So, um, I wanted really to be a part of the community after working with fantastic Dr. Shapiro, with uh, First State Vein and Laser, and he was the reason like I learned anything about lipedema. I worked with him, and it was just such an amazing experience for me. So once I became a life coach, and of course they tell you find your niche. You'll know it when you think. You'll know it when it comes to you. So I was going through, and I'm like, who can I like? Who is working with lipedema patients? So I'm looking on, and I just happened to come across Catherine's page, and so I clicked on it, went on the website, loved everything I saw, and so I reached out to her, but she was busy. So she would, so I kept reaching out to her, and she's like, oh, we're doing a seasick. I don't have time right now. I'll get back to you when it's over. I'm like, okay. So seasick is like I think it was 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Okay, so I'm waiting it out. I'm on the page, still seeking. I'm kind of like stalking her a little bit because I really wanted to be a part of Lipedema Simplified, and so she would email me like back and forth, and then it took a while. It took a little while, but I kept like reaching out to her and keeping in touch with her to make her know that I'm very interested. I'm not going anywhere. You're going to keep hearing from me, and I'm going to keep kind of not, I hope I wasn't a pest, but I wanted her to know I was here. And so I just kept going at it until we had a conversation. She actually like okay, send me your number. She went on my website because I have a coaching business. It's called Metanoia Life Coach Service, and she went on my website. She liked what she saw. She liked the fact that it was a holistic approach to coaching. And then she reached out, like, give me your number, we'll have a conversation, and then we'll see what happens from there. And so I'm here.
Yeah. And it is kind of true. You kind of sometimes you have to be a little bit of a pest.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's not necessarily a negative thing.
No.
Um, I remember my dad would tell me if you want a job or if you want to get someone to pay attention to you, you have to camp on their doorstep because they're busy, right? They're busy doing things and they need to know that you're interested. And if you knock on the door once and nobody answers, you can go away and never go back. They won't know that you're interested. It's when you continually say, "You know what? I was watching you and I saw this and I've been stalking you for a while and I think that what you're doing is a good thing and I like this and I like that about you." And then they go, "Oh, okay, because you pretty much vetted us and then we
Mhm,
had to vet you, right?"
mhm,
And
mhm,
part of the vetting process is how involved do you want to, how involved are you and how much do you care?
mhm, mhm.
And so it's been a few months that you've been with us,
Yeah.
and we have the opportunity to have you come on to our different events
Yes.
and share who you are
Yeah.
and what your passion is. I
Yeah.
want to take a minute and say hi to some of them. Fractal Beans is here from London. Her name is Elena. Hi, Elena. It's good
I'm
to see
Helena.
you.
Yes.
Marcia's here from Texas.
Hi, Marsha.
Hi, Marcia. And then Sherry is here from Florida, from
Hi,
South Florida.
Shereen.
And I'm here from Boise, Idaho, and you are here from
Delaware, Newcastle, Delaware.
Newcastle, Delaware. So we're
Mhm.
pretty much all over the United States and London.
Yeah.
And we come to you on Tuesday nights most of the time, except the fourth Tuesday of the month. And on that day, we come to you in the morning. So Sharon and I were in the background before the show started, and we were trying to figure out what we wanted to talk about today. A little bit about lipedema and a lot about life. And it actually, just by saying that, reminds me when I was in college, I was a late bloomer and I started college at age 30. I had children. I was off to school now with my teenage kids. I was going to say my children around my feet, but they weren't. They were they're pretty much driving me to and from school at one point. Anyway, so I started college when I was 30, and before I graduated, a wonderful woman said to me, she was one of my professors. I'm a math teacher, by the way, and she said to me, teach them a lot about math and a little bit about life, and all they will ever get out of you is a little bit about life and maybe a little math. But if you teach them a little bit about math and a lot about life, they will listen to you and learn everything you can teach them about the math, but then they'll learn a lot about life too. And I always felt that was very telling, that
Mhm.
she didn't just want me to teach them math. This math professor at Boise State University, she wanted me to teach them about life as well. And part of teaching about life is being authentic,
Mhm.
right? So teaching by example. And I found that led me through my teaching career very well.
Mhm.
And so when we were talking behind in the green room or behind stage a few minutes ago, we were talking about some of the things that you want to talk about. You want to talk to us about gratitude today,
Mhm. Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And maybe reframing some negative. So you want to talk about life
Yeah.
today.
We live it
We
every
live it.
day, right?
Right. We live it. So let's talk about life,
Life.
Sharon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So go ahead.
So, we were talking about in the background. We were talking about um what we did last night, right? And we were in this really beautiful but deep conversation last night, and I was telling Gail how grateful I was to be in that space and to see all the love, all the concern, all the, just being able to be in that space where people were sharing their deepest memories and feelings about what they were going through. And there was so much, probably they didn't see it the way I saw it, but I saw so much gratitude in that space of being able to share something like that and to your deepest, your heart, be transparent, like 100%. I was grateful to be able to experience that and to just be seeing all the, like I said, all the love, being able to experience um this part of lipedema simplified, because I've been here a short time, and I haven't been able to experience what I experienced last night. So in my heart, in my mind, I'm grateful. And Gail was saying, well, people say a lot of that, right? And what does that really mean? We can say, oh, have grace for yourself, have grace and be kind to yourself and self-care, but are we really explaining how to do that? Are we really telling people what's the I don't say it's step one, step two, step three, or anything like that, but how do we get there? What do we do? And it's really just, I believe it's just giving thanks in all circumstances. No matter what it is, if it's positive, it's negative, like you have to find, I'm learning to find a silver lining in everything, because nothing happens by chance. I believe. I believe everything happens for a reason, regardless of how, what it looks like, what it feels like in the moment. But we have to, I'm learning to be grateful
Right.
in every circumstance.
Right. And last night, what happened last night is we hold these events called C6. It stands CSIG, and it stands for Coaching Special Interest Group. And it's a 4-week course that we teach. And the one that we're in the middle of right now, we're wrapping it up this week. We hold 4 a year. And the one we're wrapping up this week we call it Thriving Through the Holidays. But it's basically helping our community go through some stressful times through the holidays, whether it's nutritionally
Mm,
or stress relief wise, physically, and and so there are about 12 of us in the course, and we come together and we share. Get a lesson. We take a lesson, and we come together and we share on how that lesson might impact our lives. And last night got really deep in conversation. And I was one of them that got very deep into a conversation that I didn't expect to get there, but I felt safe. I felt heard. I felt seen. And it's all about, all the members that were there are tribe members, the Lipedema Simplified Tribe, which is a membership group. And and we got into we got into some weeds, some pretty deep weeds, and I opened up. For some reason, I felt I let my vulnerability show. As a leader in this community, that's not always easy
mm-mm,
to open up and just let my innards show, right? Because as a leader, sometimes you gotta smile through stuff, right? But I let my vulnerability show last night, and the love, the outpouring of love that came to me. And not only that, but to each other, because other people have gone through similar things. And in the chat, there was a full, rounded conversation and sharing. And so when you said to me today about the gratitude that you felt, not only because I could open up, but because of everybody's gratitude for the sharing of something deep that maybe they haven't had the opportunity to share. Maybe they have in spaces that weren't so safe, but just having that open, loving, kind space was amazing for me. And I think for everybody who was in there, who was in the meeting. And that's one of the things that tribe brings us is, you know, I tell people, well, I have lipedema, but I'm much more than lipedema.
mm-hmm,
In fact, lipedema is a really very small. I mean, physically, lipedema is there, right? It's big, but because it's a big thing, it's physically, visually big on my
mm-hmm,
body. But
mm-hmm,
that's not who I am,
mm-mm.
right? I don't even know if I say I have lipedema. Yeah, I do. I say that. I'm not always sure if that's the right way to say it. Can I rephrase it? Can I reframe it instead of saying, I have lipedema and I have to do all this stuff to manage my lipedema? How do I reframe that?
And a positive, maybe you can say, well, lipedema doesn't have me. I'm
Right.
experiencing it in my life, but it doesn't have me.
Doesn't have me.
No.
Do I have to pay attention to lipedema? Yes.
Yes.
Do I have to dwell on lipedema? No. So I don't focus. I can't focus on my lipedema 24/7.
Mm-mm.
I would be so boring, and I wouldn't be living if I had to focus on lipedema 24/7. So I
Mm-hmm.
manage it, right?
Right.
To a to the point where I say, okay, I've taken care of what I've had to take care of. Now let's move on through my life today.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about the gratitude of
Mm-hmm.
it, I'm actually grateful for lipedema.
Mm-hmm. So it's a form of positive reframing too.
Yeah, I'm grateful. I've met you. I've met this beautiful community,
Yeah.
right? And so I like to say all the time, it's the lipedema that brought us together.
Yeah.
But that's not what makes us stay together.
No.
No, it's just that little thing in common, right?
Yeah.
There's so much more in our lives than lipedema, and I think in that sense I can express my gratitude for lipedema. You know,
Give you a different way. It gives you a different way to express um, how you feel or how you think about lipedema, because it's a part of your life that it's gonna it's a part of your life that you're gonna live with for however long you have to live with it, right?
right,
But you also have your social things that you do, your singing that you love, your whatever your I don't know. Do you like to knit and stuff like that?
I crochet,
Crochet, like your
yeah,
crocheting, and if you like to cook or whatever it is that you like to do, that's still all part of Gail as well, right?
right,
And you're going to give yourself time to be able to do that. Like you said, you're not going to just sit here and think about, oh, lipedema 24/7, 365, right? Because then you'll just be, just I
yeah,
don't know, in zombie land. And you,
right,
you won't be, you won't be living the quality of life in which you want for yourself, because
right,
that's going to be your only focus. But to just say it the way that you said it, it gives it a different twist, and it gives you it gives you a different energy to enjoy your life.
right. And I was at in our exercise class, we call it Miranda, the
Mm-hmm.
tribe, right? And but it's but her name is Miranda Esmond White, and we have her video series,
Mm-hmm.
and so we do an exercise class 5 days a week with the tribe. And I was in there. We are talking about how different it is showing up with a group of women with lipedema
Mm-hmm.
or showing up not with a group of women with lipedema,
Mm.
and how we find it so easy just to be. So we don't even think about it. When I walk up to a when I walk into a gym, I am so aware of my body shape,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
When I go to Miranda with the tribe, when I come to a lipedema event with Lipedema Simplified, I don't think about my body shape. I don't think, oh my gosh, I weigh 285 pounds. And what am I doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't think that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But but sometimes when I go to other meetings that aren't Lipedema Simplified meetings, lipedema meetings, I'm all worried about my jawline. Does this, do my collarbones show? Do I look like a thin person online? Right? I'm all
Mm-hmm.
busy doing that.
Wow.
Right? But with lipedema, I don't even, it's like, it's not even that I don't care. It's that I don't have to care
Wow.
about that. I can let that go because the women in the groups, in the webinars, all that, we are all so kind and generous and loving. and gracious. So I want to share. I want to say hi, Sharon Anderson Robertson. Sharon Robertson. It's
Hi,
been a
Sharon.
while since I've seen your name. And then Sherry. And I want to share what Sherry's written. Without lipedema, I wouldn't be a part of this community and have the new amazing people in my life since I joined. So I think we can find gratitude even in having lipedema.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a beautiful way to frame it where we can go, "Oh, okay. This has brought me something good in my life." Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Thank you, Sherry.
Yeah, so anyway, so other than gratitude, did we want to focus on something else today?
We wanted to focus on reframe, like a positive reframing, like
Mhm.
flipping the negative upside down, you know,
Mhm.
and just giving that, like, some good energy, not that, oh, not that bad energy. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, I found myself singing. I work at the hospital on Monday and Tuesday, and I found myself just singing today, and just singing. And we have, we work where we optimize, people who is getting like hip or knee or shoulder surgery. They come to our department for that last visit to make sure everything is optimized and everything is cleared, and the clearances and all their testings. And our office is so far away from the front entrance. And so when people are like hips and joints hurt and they have to walk a far away, they're not very happy. And so we have some, and they're older, some people are older, and they just are not happy by the time they reach that front desk. And me being a medical assistant, I take them back to, to get their weight and stuff. And a lot of them are not friendly. They're not happy. They're not, but I'm just singing, 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 because I'm like, I'm gonna turn whatever negative they feel, they're going to feel my energy. We're going to turn it to something positive. Right. And so
Mhm.
while I'm talking to them, and I'm just, telling them how, giving compliments, and just because I want them to feel good. What you're about to go through, this surgery is probably not a good, it's not going to feel good. It's going to take a while for you to recover. So right now, just let's give you some different energy. And I'm telling you, by the time they left the office, their energy was so different, because I didn't say anything to, like, to be negative, or even shine the light on what they are doing or saying that's negative. I just kept being my happy little self, and like I said, giving compliments. And then they were like, "Oh, have a happy holiday. Oh, enjoy your day. Have a good rest of your life." And that's what I wanted to do, just by, my energy,
Right.
reframing their energy. And it's without words. It was a good play. It was awesome, because I've never thought about it that way before. But just exchanging energies is a powerful thing.
That's pretty impressive, and I can tell you, we hear a lot about my aunt Sandy, right, who just had
Hmm.
back surgery
Yeah.
on 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 the 30th
Hmm.
30th of November. So it's only been 12 days.
Hmm.
But she has said, of all the people in that she's had to deal with, everybody has been so kind and loving. And she says the office staff of that particular clinic, they are so kind and loving and cheerful. And she takes that with her as she's leaving,
Hmm.
right? And she even knows, because they've been so kind and generous, that
Hmm.
she can call if she needs to call them and ask a question, she can. She doesn't feel like she's going to disturb somebody,
Hmm.
because they've been so generous with and friendly, right?
Yes.
So,
Hmm.
and I'm sure, like, the patients that came to see you today thought, if I need to make a phone call, I can call them back. She'll help me because she was kind to me,
Mhm. Mhm. Oh, you
right?
would
And yet if you were just like business-like, they might not feel that.
no.
They
No.
just we feel like another number. And those of us with lipedema, we understand this very well because we go to clinics
Mhm.
and we go see people and they go, "Ugh, you have lipedema, there's not much you can do about it, you're okay."
Mhm.
Right? Or,
Mhm.
oh, this isn't real. I don't hear you, I don't see you, I don't feel you.
Yeah.
So you singing, you loving the whole space that you were in, and the clients and the patients coming in felt that,
Yeah.
gives them hope,
Mhm.
gives them hope.
Yeah.
So I see what you mean by reframing your energy,
Mhm.
reframes the next person's energy.
Yeah. And then without words, not without coaching them or anything like
Right.
that. The words were just like, "Oh my gosh, how are you today?" Or "I love your shoes," or "Your hair is so cute." Oh my gosh, like what you doing?
Yeah.
Anything to kind of calm them because I know
Right.
the walk. I know the walk, and when you're in pain, you don't want to walk from one part of the hospital to the other, and I get that. And I am very empathetic with you on that. I get that. It's a far walk.
Yeah.
But you're here now
You're
and
here
you're
now.
in
Everything's okay.
space and you made it. I'm so happy you're here. Come on, what can we do? You want to get comfortable? Like, what do you want to do? Like, and it's like, okay, because it's nobody's angry. So, I say this like, you can't argue by yourself. You need a partner.
Right.
I'm not going to argue with anyone. I'm just going to give
Right.
you some love and give you some good energy. And like I said, before they left the office, and I'm not exaggerating, they were just, the whole attitude was just different. Smiling, have a good day, enjoy your holiday, and like, yeah,
Yeah.
how much can we do?
When you said that you're kind of your clinic is quite a ways in to the space, right? They have a long way to walk.
Mm-hmm.
I was at Aunt Sandy's follow up with her. And all the clinics are on a U-shaped corridor, right? Kind of,
Mm-hmm.
or a hooked corridor. So they have to.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw this little lady. She was hunched. She had her stuff, and was telling her caregiver. She was walking as hard as she could, and she was telling her caregiver, her support person,
Mm-hmm.
how smart are these people putting the pain clinic clear at the back, right? How smart can they be? And she was not happy. She
She
was
was
not
not.
happy
That's
because
a long walk.
it's a long walk. I know how long it was for me to get Aunt Sandy to where I had to get her. But and I turned and looked at Aunt Sandy, and Aunt Sandy says, "Yeah, why isn't the pain clinic at the front?" Because
Yeah.
because pain clinic means I'm dealing with pain. I it should be the very first thing, right? And
Yes.
yeah, and yet it's back. It was all the way. It is. It's all the way at the end of that big old
Yes.
U-shaped thing. And I thought, "Oh my gosh, this is so true." We people watched today, and I was feeling through the whole thing, I was feeling compassion and love for
Mm-hmm.
everybody that was walking in today. And they all had different things they were doing. Like one lady, she had she had a stroller. She was
Mm-hmm.
pushing a stroller with a baby.
Mm-hmm.
She probably was 8 months pregnant, and
Mm-hmm.
she had a little one with a leash strapped to their wrist, and she was focused on getting somewhere, but you could tell it was a hard walk, right? Because
Yeah.
she had a
Yeah.
kid on a leash and she had one in a stroller, and she
Oh,
was pregnant. I'm thinking, oh honey, I wish I could have just gone over and scooped the little kid up that was on the leash because he was tugging on her, right?
yeah.
And I thought, I understand the leash 'cause
Because you can't.
otherwise 'cause she can't keep up with all, and the
Mhm,
baby in the stroller was strapped in tight. I mean,
mhm,
she had to get into that, and, I thought, every one of us has a different some type of burden or some type of heavy weight
mhm,
to carry.
mhm,
So we had one elderly woman who was in pain, and then
mhm,
we had a young woman who her arms were full. She had
mhm,
her burden too, and I don't know these, and we were just watching people, and I
mhm,
thought every single person that walked through, I thought, "Man, do I have love for you.
mhm.
Love for you," 'cause I could see them going to these clinics knowing full well that it seemed like everybody had something they were carrying,
Yeah,
and I thought,
yes,
"We all have something that we carry."
we do.
Right? And my burden and your burden are 2 different burdens, but we all have something that we carry
Yeah.
around with us, and I felt a lot of compassion
Mhm.
today. I really did, and maybe I should have sung to all of them as they walked by, but they probably wouldn't wanna be hearing this voice. This voice is exhausted.
But that would
Um,
have put a smile on somebody's face.
oh, I'm sure. I could have sold them tickets to my show. Um So so let me see what I'm gonna see some comments here.
Okay.
Um, let's see. I have this one. I know the feeling. I'm having an ultrasound on my legs tomorrow at the Freuder in Williamham, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Sorry. Um, and the area that I have to go to is so far away that I have to get a wheelchair service just to get there. And Marcia, I want you to know that that's a good thing to do.
Yes.
Get the wheelchair service.
Yes.
Um, they might even have valet parking for you if you need a valet park, or they might have they might have wheelchair assist. And I know I've been taking Aunt Sandy into the clinics, and all we do is we pull up in front. We didn't have to prearrange the wheelchair assist, but they might have valet parking for you as well, so that you don't have to worry about um, them coming to your how to get from your car to the front of the
Mhm.
hospital, or
Mhm.
even the person who if you have a driver. um,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's something that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
That's a
Yes.
good thing. Airports, get wheelchair assist, and I'll
Mhm.
tell you a little clue. Get wheelchair assist, but don't ride your wheelchair through the beeper. If you can stand to be that go through the scanner like yay, whatever that you normally do, go through that way. And I only say this because Aunt Sandy rode the wheelchair through, but because of that, then they had to like wipe her hands. She had CBD on her hands because she had used it on her painful spots, and they did the thing, and then they had to search her and everything. It was pretty distressful for her. The
Oh.
next time she walked through, and because she was able to walk through that space, she didn't have to go through the whole wipe down, pat down thing, and it was much less stressful for her. She just said, "I'll meet you at with the wheelchair on the other side," and it
Mhm.
was a lot better for her. Now, I
Mhm.
don't know if that's something that happens because they have to, like, it was their wheelchair. So I
Yes.
don't know why she had to go through all of it, but it was pretty distressful for her.
Mhm.
But wheelchair assisted airports and in other places, if they have it available,
Yes.
utilize it.
Yes.
That's good
Absolutely.
care for yourself.
Yes.
Let's see well, Winetta. Hi, Winetta from Alaska.
I
She
will
says,
not.
I'm having this same experience at the wound center. So many people struggling. A gentleman today got everyone talking and out of their heads while waiting for this center to open. We are a little army fighting a battle to heal. Yes, yes. Um, okay. So, Sharon, we've been on here for 35 minutes plus, and we have a lot of people from all over the place. But
Mm-hmm.
I want to go and I want to share something that we have coming up
Mm-hmm.
real quick. In I want you to say everybody to save the date. Be looking for this in our newsletters and our emails. We're having a town hall the 28th of December, 6 p.m. Eastern, and we're all going to get together, and in that we are going to discuss what our this last year has been about. 2023 has been pretty exciting and wonderful for Lipedema Simplified and just the Lipedema community altogether. And then we're going to talk about what we are looking at for 2024. I think we're going to really focus on a different direction of wellness, overall wellness. And I'm hoping that all of you out and about in I was going to say in TV land. That's not true. In the internet land. I hope you guys all keep track of that, and we'll make sure that we get a link to you in some of our upcoming Facebook and YouTube lives. And then I also want to talk to you all about this wonderful um, opportunity for clinicians who have s- um, manual lymph drainage clinicians, cranial sacral, people who've worked with cranial sacral therapy. Dr. Raymond Perrin from the UK is coming to do a workshop in Boston. It's for clinicians. It's the first weekend in February of 2024. And if you or your clinician would like to participate in this, this is not necessarily for patients. You have to have the cranial sacral therapy classes and stuff before you start. But we have 20 spots, and I believe we have 10 filled so far. And you can become certified in the pairing technique. And so we have here, if you want to register for that or get more information about that, here is the link. I'm going to pop this one back up, and I'm going to put the workshop link into the comments. Um, so if you have a therapist that you think might like to participate, give them this link. Copy and paste that link into an email to them, um, because it might be something. If we can get more and more people certified in the parent technique all over the place, it would be a good thing, because parent technique is very powerful. So Dr. Perrin will be here in Boston the first weekend in February of 2024. Let's see, what else do we have in the comments if there are any questions? No. Okay. With that, I believe Sharon and I are going to tell you good night. If you want to ask Sharon any questions at all, you can email her. I'm going to pop her email address back up. It's simply Sharon at lipedema-simplified.org. And please feel free to reach out to her, ask her any questions. If you want to talk to me, just take Sharon's name off and put Gail up there. Gail. Let's see what we have. Gail, apologize for the unrelated question, but do you have the code for lipedema handy? Okay, so Elena, Fractal Beans, the lipedema code is different for um, the UK and for the United States and for Europe. So I would suggest to you to simply Google it, especially since you're in the UK, and it'll pop up. And I don't have that one handy. Every time I give the code out here for the United States, every time I give the code out, people say that's just unspecified edema. Because here in the United States, the code that they use is for unspecified edema. Then there's a code for pain. Then there's a code for swelling. And then, okay, so we are way behind the world. And so if if you if you look it up online for NHS, I believe NHS um, in the UK would have it listed. I think it's NHS, right? Natural National Health System. Um, anyway, because here NIH, which is National Institutes of Health, um, thank you, babe. Um, we are we have this whole list of codes. So the best thing to do is get lipedema in your chart, and then and dig up that code and keep that code handy in your country, if you can, and basically see your country's well, and you can find it on the internet. I just don't have the UK's right square in my head, but I should, I suppose. So thank you very much, Elena, for thinking that I'm your inspiration. I'm somebody's inspiration.
You are.
I love it. So with that, at the end of all of my broadcasts, I like to ask my guest, if there was one message you would like to see echoed around the world, what would it be?
So tonight, because we're talking about gratitude, and this is my favorite gratitude scripture. Do you mind if I share it?
Please do.
Okay, so it comes from First Thessalonians 5:18, and it's give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. And I think when we just take the time to look at all the beautiful things, it just gives us a certain peace, hope, love. It just brings so many beautiful things up from within us to help us cope with any and every circumstance that we go through.
Thank you so much, Sharon. I appreciate it. And I am truly grateful that I have you in my life.
Oh, thank you, Gail. I'm equally as grateful to be here with you and Lipedema Simplify, the tribe, the ladies. It's all a beautiful experience.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. And everyone, thank you. Have a wonderful night if we don't see you. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, joyful New Year. We
Yes,
love
all
you.
of that. Yes.
All of it. Yeah. Good night.